Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Playboy Games, and I'm back. Haven't made a gameplay video in a long time, but I thought I'd make one with the Hunter. Now, I did attempt to make some videos before for this game, but I had issues, with recording, audio, and all that stuff. So I just decided I'll just make a new one and just start fresh. So, yeah, it's been a while since I played this game. I've been playing this game for probably about a week and a half now, or maybe just a week. I'll say a week because I started last weekend. But I haven't played this game in a very, very long time. It's been about a year since last I really played, and a lot has changed. They added a lot of new animals to hunt. Last time I was playing, the only animals that they had that you can hunt was uh, where are they? Whitetail, mule deer, black-tailed deer, moose, Roosevelt elk, coyote, pheasant, and black bear. But now they added new locations where you can hunt at, and they also added brown bear. They added mallard duck, Canada goose, uh, hmm, red fox, roe deer, and red deer. So those are the new animals that they added. I think that it'd be cool if they added, some more animals like pumas, bighorn sheep, and maybe even a new map like a prairie or something. I mean, this map is nice because there's not a lot of densely wooded areas. But I would really love like a mountainous area with like maybe a prairie in the valley or something like that. Like a big old prairie grassland. That'd be very nice. And maybe buffalo if they wanted to, throw that in there. Oh yeah, also pronghorn. That's another thing. That'd be good for the prairie. But yeah, that'd be nice if they added those in there. Yeah, so today I'm down here in the bayou, which is one of the new maps that they added where you can hunt duck. But I'm not gonna hunt duck today. I'm gonna go down here and hunt pretty much anything I come across. Black bear. Oh yeah, they did add another animal. They did add was the wild boar. Now they already had feral hogs, which is on this map. But yeah, that's another new animal that they added. I haven't got one yet. Just like I haven't got a brown bear yet. But I have came across those. Day before yesterday, I came across my first brown bear, and he was outside one of my bait barrels, my bear barrels, and it was crazy because he saw me from a distance, and he got spooked and ran. He was probably at least like, I'll probably say like, 200 yards away from me, and he got spooked from my way over there. So I think when it comes to hunting bear, you really need your, odor eliminator. Even though I never used that before, I don't use it, but I see that it may be very necessary for bear hunting. Um, but yeah, today I'm going to bring out my crossbow because I love my crossbow, and I'm trying to perfect it because with the crossbow, if you get good enough shots, like in the head, which is very risky. Headshots and neck shots are very risky because even though you may hit them in the head, sometimes it may count as a body shot. So, they may stop bleeding and they might go roaming again, without even dying. And also my 12 gauge pump. I love my 12 gauge. It gets the job done from, short distances and to mid-range distances. I have shot animals from like over 200 yards away, like off in the distance. Like there has seriously been times where I've been up on a mountain and I see an animal down a valley and I will shoot at it and I will actually get it. And sometimes I get them and they may travel a while before they die. But most of the times when I shoot from that far, I would say say about 100 yards away. Usually those shots, even if you get them right in the chest, they're not like deadly shots or fatal shots or anything like that. and most of the times it won't be good enough to wing them or injure them to where they won't be mobile anymore. But yeah, both of these weapons get it done. I especially love my bow because it's quiet, and if you can get a shot right through the heart or through the head, that's like the best shot you can get. Because say if there's multiple animals out there, and the closest one is probably about 20 feet away from you, and then the other deer maybe like somewhere to 20 to 30 yards away. Um, if you kill the one that's near you with one shot, the other deer around you won't hear. So, as long as you don't get them running off, they won't scare away the other deer. So I love my crossbow. And plus you can use it on the ground. That's why I love it way more than the compound bow, because you can only use this while crouched. And crouched. I said crouched. Crouched. Only when you're on your knees. Because if you're crawling and you pull out your bow, it automatically stands you up. And sometimes that could scare off animals. I have had that happen to me a lot, where I'm crawling, I pull out the bow, and I'm not necessarily ready to shoot the bow yet. I'm still trying to find out where the animal is, and I got up on my knees and scared the deer, and it just ran right off. But so that's why I love my crossbow. I wish I can trade this in and get some points back. That's one thing they need to add to this game, is a trade-in system. You know. Trade in your weapons and get your points back, or how much you spend back. Like, they give you points, or they give you around the same amount, maybe not exactly how much you spent, but slightly less. Or if you could trade with other people, that would be very nice. If you could trade with other players, since there is multiplayer now. That's one thing that they added since last time I played. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have. I usually carry like a blind, but I'm not going to take that with me right now, because I do have my stand out there. I do have my tripod, which I really I brought it out because this map has it is very how can I say, very flat when it comes to mountains and stuff. So if you could find like an open area where the swamp is, where the water is, you can get a pretty good view on the tripod. So I'm about to go down here and pick that up, because the last time I was hunting down here, I left it because I was hunting. I think I was hunting a bear, and I shot at it, and it actually got away. I shot at it probably from like 50 yards away, and I didn't hit it. I was surprised, because I aimed towards the chest area, and he was like trotting around, and I aimed at his chest, shot. I could have swore I hit him because my red dot was right where his chest was when I had let go. But I don't know if that was a glitch, or if that was just bad aiming, which I doubt it was on my behalf. But yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty densely populated map. Like, there's a lot of animals around here. It kind of remind me of what's that, Red Falls? That's another good map with animals. It has black bear, moose, elk, white-tailed deer, and I think that's all. It pretty much has the same animals as this map, except for this map has birds. I mean, it has duck, and it also have hogs. But in Red Falls, they don't have either of those two. So yeah. Oh, female deer right there. Over here. So I don't know if I really want to hunt her, because I'm kind of the person that I somewhat hunt. If I'm not going on a specific hunt for something, specifically, I do pretty much hunt anything that's in my way. And I also do like calling back to the deer, the female deer. Even if it's a female deer, I do like calling back to them, because sometimes they might be rolling with more than one deer. And if you're lucky enough, you can have them rolling with a buck. So that's why I always like to try, at least check them out. If I don't feel like hunting them, I at least like to try to check them out. Okay, where's my stand at? Oh, see, that's right there. I would have to say out of all the large equipment, I would say that the ground blind is probably my favorite because when you're up in the stand, they can see you. I mean, like sometimes I have had deer walk up to me like this close, and then out of nowhere they get spooked uh, in my tree stand and in this tripod. But the ground blind, it'll come straight up to you, and they pretty much won't be spooked until they hit your tent. Once when they hit your tent, then that's when they get spooked. Okay, so where was she at? Was she over? No, she was over in this direction because it came from over there, and she was off in this distance. So I'm actually gonna try with this female deer. As long as she's running by herself, I'm gonna try with her to see how close she will get before she gets spooked. Because it's always good to test these type of things to see how effective each equipment is. And sometimes you just gotta do trial and error. Okay, so she's right over here. And see, of course, with this stand, you can't lay down. It's the same thing with the tree stand. You can't lay down. Well, I don't know. Can you lay down the tree stand? I'm not sure. I might be getting confused with the hunters. The hunting post. Okay, so she's pretty close. Well, she's not super close, but she's right over there. Right over here somewhere. And you know what? I don't think I brought my rangefinder. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Okay, so let me bring out my rangefinder. Let me see if I can find her off in the distance. Because even sometimes if you don't see them, the rangefinder and even your guns can see them through the trees, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, but I got some pretty nice bucks on this map. Uh, it seemed like on the maps that are like highly populated with animals, it seems like those are the maps usually where I find the most, probably my best scoring animals. Usually they're bigger because the bear that I shot at yesterday, that was the biggest black bear I've seen. I mean, the damn thing it looked as big as a grizzly. That's how big it was, and I was so pissed that I did not get him. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, these highly populated, there she is. These highly populated maps, they seem to have the best scoring animals for some reason. I don't know if it's because there's so many of them that I come across better scoring animals, you know, more than often. See, it shows her being closer on my hunter's mate than she actually is, and that can sometimes be confusing because they look closer than they actually are. So I'm gonna try to be still, and I'm gonna see how close she gets. If she gets close enough to a certain spot, I'm just gonna shoot her. I'm gonna try to let her get to like at least by this tree. Okay, so she's getting pretty close. Try to get a headshot. No, chest. Like I said, headshots are risky. Yeah, she got pretty close. And that's amazing because it's not like this is a blind. It's not like deer can't look up, you know. So I like that because they kind of make you invisible, even though you're so obvious. It's obvious that you're there. Like me walking past, like say this is the deer right here, I would easily see that deer up there. You know, I mean the person up there. But you know, I mean I can't complain. So I must have got it right through the heart. Nope, through her lungs. Dropped her instantly. That's why I kind of thought it was the heart. But yeah, nice little shot. And yes, I take pictures of all my kills. I'm that type of person. I might not take the best pictures with the females. Like I might not care too much, but I do take my pictures with them. Okay, so I took care of her. Now let me take this down. Oh, because I do not have enough space. Oh, Lord. How do I not have enough space? I didn't add anything in here. Yes, I did not add anything in here. Oh, bullets. Yeah, I did add bullets. Okay. So I'm not that far. I actually like this this tripod. It's good for, you know, like I said earlier, it's good for places that don't have too many trees, especially if you're up on a hill or if you can get into a field. It's very good for that because it, you know, it broadens your view. So I'm gonna try to go back here and drop one of my slugs. I think if I drop that, because the stand weighs like about 7 pounds, I think. Or it takes up 7 capacity spots. So, ooh, we got a buck. And like I said, this is a highly populated map. Came from the same direction where that doe came from. So that's cool. You know, I wonder, do they all spawn in the same area? And another question too, I wonder how far away do they spawn from players? Because there's been times where I may have left the lodge, I may be like probably like 20 feet away from the lodge, and then I hear a deer call. But I just wonder what's the distance of them spawning away, because you never have an animal, you know, close to you calling out. Like right when you step at the lodge, there's like animal like 50 feet away. It's always in a distance, like probably like 200 to 300 yards away. You know, pretty far. Yeah, pretty much. I think whitetail was the only thing I got on this map yesterday. Oh no, no, I did get a boar. I shot a boar right through his brain. Oh man, I got that pic on my profile, so if you want to go and look at that. And all the other pics, I have hundreds of pics on there just because I take pictures of all my animals. But yeah, I shot him right through the head, got him right in his brain. So that was a one-hit kill. But yeah, I must have been successful with whitetail on this map because that's mostly what pops up, and those were the ones that mostly responded to my calls. Now I like the rain. That's one thing I do like on here, because sometimes it could be an advantage and then sometimes it could be a disadvantage. Because say if you shot an animal and you're tracking them, you're trying to keep up with them, it's very hard for animals. I noticed that their senses are dulled, you know, especially when it rains. Like they can't hear you, and I think they can't even smell you all too well when it starts raining. So that's a plus, but it can also have a negative impact, especially if you're say if you're calling an animal and you're trying to find out where he's at, but you're not sure because you can't hear him walk because all the rain, you know, making noise around you. So it can have its good points and its bad points. Now I kind of forgot where the buck was. Was it coming from this direction? Oh, yeah, right here. There it is. And when I hunt, I like to, you know, uh, try to imitate their call. If they give me a short call, I like to give them a short call back. And if they give me a long call, I'll give them a long call. So I don't see him yet. He's probably somewhere behind this tree. This tree right here is probably blocking him, blocking me from seeing him. I think the next weapon I'm gonna buy, I'm definitely gonna buy another rifle, a more powerful rifle, to where I can equip the better scope. Um, because I really don't hunt with my rifle. The only rifle I have is the standard rifle that they give everybody, but I really don't use it all like that. Um, because it's not that powerful, especially when you want to. I mean, the other ones kill two birds with one stone, uh, and that gun really does it. The only thing that it has a plus on is distance because it has a better scope, but it's not powerful enough. You can kill. There it is. You can pretty much only kill deer and smaller animals, you know, with that hunting rifle, with one shot. But you can't do that with elk or moose or bear. Usually, it takes more than one shot to put them down with that, because sometimes it takes more than one shot with the 12 gauge, depending on where you hit them at. Wow, he got him a nice rack on him. You know, I kind of feel weird when I say that, because when you think of racks, you think of female, but you know, hey, we're hunting, so I'm sure everybody understands that lingo. Okay, so he's getting pretty close. I'm gonna give him a little call, just so he can continue coming this way. And I'm gonna try to get a one-hit kill on him, if I can. Hopefully, he don't get spooked. I kind of want to shoot him in the head, but those are risky shots. Ah, man. I think that's going to count as a leg shot. A body shot. But he seemed like he's bleeding a lot, so let's go down here and check this out. Okay. Ooh, that's a lot of blood. But see, body. Wow, that's a lot of blood. That's the first time I've ever seen that much blood. But damn it, you know, you really have to decide, and you really have to be patient when you shoot, because I have made a lot of mistakes you know, when shooting them, because sometimes I wouldn't say panic, but I become impatient to where I just want to take a shot before I scare them off, and I really don't you know, pay attention to exactly where I'm aiming at, because I noticed right when I shot the bow, his leg came up and kind of blocked the kill a little bit. I mean, kind of blocked his little chest shot, which sucks, because then it goes to this mode where they're fleeing and no longer bleeding. And body shots can take a while to kill them. Sometimes they don't even kill them. So man, that sucks. That really sucks. But with a bow that powerful, even if I did shoot him in his leg, it would go straight through his leg and go right into his chest cabinet. But of course, this is a video game, so you know it's not gonna be exactly perfect. Okay. I have no interest in you right now. Okay, man. And these can be the worst tracks ever. You know, like tracking a deer that you shot in the body. Oh my god, it can take. There has been times where I have taken probably over an hour just looking for a shot, a kill. Sometimes I catch it with them, find them dead after an hour of fleeing and roaming, and then sometimes I don't find them at all. Sometimes it seems like they travel so far that they disappear. And I might need to go back because I think I missed his tracks, because usually you will find the tracks within 50 feet of each other. So there's a good chance that I missed it back here. And see, I would run if I know that I got a kill shot. Like if I got like a chest shot, if I got like a lung, heart, or even an intestine shot, I would definitely run because, well, I wouldn't say definitely, but sometimes I do run because I don't care about the other animals when I'm tracking another animal, because I like to try to focus on one animal, not unless they're close by each other, and I get the kill right after each other. But I usually, like when I'm tracking an animal, I like to focus on the animal that I'm tracking. So sometimes I do run. But also, like I said before, I also run when it rains, because animals most likely won't hear you until you get real close. Okay, so his last track was back here, and if I didn't see it, I mean, because sometimes you don't see it, but it'd be right there. Like you might maybe like 15 feet away from you, but you don't see it. See, I saw it probably like about 5 feet back here. There, I saw this one. So I'm guessing you can be like 30 feet away. Probably like you'll probably see it like somewhere 30 feet away. So what I like to do, I like to turn on my pan mode to where I can look side to side while walking in one direction. Okay, oh, deep water. And if I don't find it again, then I'm just gonna go back and cover more ground. But these type of tracks, like when you're tracking an animal that you shot in the body, it can be some of the most frustrating. Uh, you know, whoa! I didn't mean to hit run. Yeah, sometimes it can be the most frustrating time. Seriously. Okay, so I still haven't found his tracks. And you don't suffer any type of penalty. At least I don't. I don't think you suffer any type of penalty for not picking up your deer. Like after you wound the animal and you can't find them. I know Doc says that. Oh, I know you had a hard time finding your animal or something like that. You winged the animal and had a hard time finding it. That's usually all I get is a message. They don't penalize you. At least I don't think they do. So sometimes I do have to abandon my my hunt. Because I don't have all the time in the world to just look around for these animals. Oh, see? There it goes. But you know, there's probably the track. No, he didn't come from this way. Oh, maybe he did. I thought he came from back here. But if it's fleeing, then this is him. Yep. So see, he is way off track. The other one was over there saying he went off in that direction when actually he went off in this direction. And see, I kind of should have knew that because usually animals, they run back in the direction that they came from. Even if they're nowhere near that direction where they came from, they will make their way back to that direction. It's weird, I noticed that. See, there we go. So you usually see them somewhere like 30 to 40 feet away. That's probably like 50 feet away. But yeah. And I also think it's based on your tracking skills too, how far away you can see them. I think I got like level 4 on whitetail tracking, so I can at least see them from that distance, from like I think 50 feet away. But I just wonder, you know, the higher level you get, does it really, can you really see them from far away? Because I'm not sure. See how the deer, he ran off in one direction, but he made sure he came back the way he he came in the first place. I just think it's weird how they do that. I never went hunting before in real life, so I wonder, do deer do that? Because I would think that anything that's panicking, their first thought wouldn't be run back to where I came. I think they will try to run off to where they think is a safe direction. You know, like anywhere that seems safe. Anywhere but where they're being harmed at. That's what I would think. I don't know if they're smart like humans, like, oh, let me run back to my home. Because they really don't have a home. The whole forest is pretty much their home. Okay, let me get my gun just in case I see something. I like walking with my gun out. Because just in case if I see something. Oh, there he is, dead. Thank you, God. Oh, I didn't think that. For a second, I was thinking that this was going to be a pretty long hunt, but seriously, he didn't make it that far. Okay, so what's his score? 120. So he's not the best. So he was wounded for 2 minutes before he died. So that's pretty cool. He didn't run around too long. Uh, yeah. So I got him in his body. I shot him in this area. See what happened when he was walking. He opened up to where I could shoot at his rib cage, but then his leg moved up to where he kind of blocked it from being a fatal shot, even though it was a fatal shot, but you know, instantly killing him. Okay, let me get over here. I really hope they make an easier system to take pictures because it's very, it can be complicated trying to take nice pictures. Yeah, see, wow, no. How's that a body shot? There's a lot of vital organs right there, like his lungs. See, I shot him right there. Looked like it went probably about 2-3 inches deep. So that should at least pierce something. But he's a big animal. He's big, but he's not too big for my arrow. Okay, let me try to pick him up. There we go. Nice. Got some very sharp antlers. Big antlers, but he doesn't have, you know, a lot of points. He doesn't have as many as some that I had before. That's a kind of beastie picture with the sun glaring like that. But it kind of takes away from me seeing his antlers. That's a nice buck. Oh, he is huge. Okay. So, I got me a buck. I'm gonna go back and get my tripod first before I end up leaving. Oh, no, that's right. Before I even found the buck or even heard the buck, I was about to head back to lighten up so I could come back and get my tripod. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I don't know how long I'm going to let this episode be. because I have Bandicam and it's pretty good. Like, it's good for frame rates. It doesn't cause my game to lag at all. But the only thing is, just like Fraps, it takes up a lot of space. It takes up a lot of space. I think like an hour-long video. Excuse me, sorry about that. I think an hour-long video can take up to like 10 gigs. Yeah, I had an hour-long video that took up to 10 gigs. Ooh, another buck. Okay, so he's back in this direction. See, I think they spawn back in this direction. And I'm gonna see if I can get a better spot. I'm gonna leave that tripod behind. I want to try it like this. This right here could be a nice spot because there's not too much. Let me see where he is again. He's back here on this island. So you know what? I'm gonna try to get somewhere on the shore so I can see him clearly, like when he travel across. Because he's most likely gonna travel across this little small island ahead of me to make it across. So let me get a little bit closer to where I can get a good shot on him. Because what I found out, even if you're not in the grass, they don't see you. If you're on the ground, say if you're crawling, they will not see you at all. Even if you're on the road or on some dirt, they will not see you. So it's not real. This game isn't absolutely realistic because there's been times where deer have seen me on the other side of boulders. There's been times that they see me you know, through trees and stuff like that. They see me and they get scared. So there's, you know, their line of sight isn't perfect. But sometimes it seems like it's perfect because sometimes they can see you from like a couple hundred yards away. Okay, so let me call out to them. I'm not sure if I did or didn't. I think I did. Okay. He called back. And like I said, I like to return a call. I like to always return calls. Oops. I always get my keys confused because I switch them up very often depending on where I'm hunting at. Because I might have to carry more things. So I will have it spread out. I have like, I think I have like 8 different slots or 7 slots opened. So depending on the map, like if there's less animals, I bring less equipment. If I have more animals, I bring more equipment, namely horns and stuff. So the callers and stuff. So okay, so he's back here somewhere. I don't see him yet, but he's back there. So I surely picked him up. Oh no, he's over here. How did it track him? Ooh, and he looks like he has some very nice antlers. Oh man, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know because I'm on the ground, so there's a good chance I can get a one-hit shot with the bow. But sometimes, especially when it comes to bear, I don't like shooting with the bows because bears, they can run for a very long time before they fall over dead. So I usually like pull on my 12 gauge for bears, and sometimes I do with bucks if I don't want to risk it, especially if the buck look real nice. Okay, he's right over there. The only downside about this bow is, of course, you gotta crank it back once when you shoot a bow. So trying to get a second shot with a bow is mostly impossible because by the time you put that bow back in there, the animal is far away. Okay, I'm gonna try to move over just a little bit if I can, so I can get a nice chest shot. I'm gonna try to stop that heart. There we go. One hit kill. But I kind of hate killing them close to the water. And the only reason why is because it's hard to take photos when they're bobbing in the water. He's pretty big. He is big. Let's look at that rack. Oh yeah, look at that. That is nice. I've got a couple whitetail buck that look just like him. Man, he's nice. He's probably gonna score like 160, somewhere in there, 160. So I pull out my Pathfinder. Why do I keep calling it a Pathfinder? My hunter's mate. Okay, I got him in the body, left lung, and liver. So that's pretty cool. It's a good kill shot. And 146. So he's pretty close to 160. Yeah. Like I said, see, look at that. I got 2 buck kills right after each other. But that was no more than 15 minutes apart, you know, so. Yeah, like I said, this is a very highly populated map. I'm trying to perfect my skills when it comes to taking photos with animals because it can be very hard. There we go. Perfect. I'm trying to get all his points showing. Okay. Perfect. Okay, now hopefully I can get back to my stand. That's a problem with maps like this. Usually if you have a planned goal, it's very hard to follow through with that because there's so many animals on here and you're enticed so much by the animals, you know. You might be like, "Oh, I'm going to hunt duck." But then you see a nice big old black bear run across, or you might get a nice grunt from a buck somewhere. So, yeah. But I do love it though. I do love maps with a lot of animal. And like I said, this map and Red Feathers are probably like the most densely populated maps. I don't know. I think they might be. I think these maps might be smaller too than those maps. That might be another reason why I think Red Feather Fall and this Bayou map are probably like the smallest maps. But they're also maps with not it's like their forests aren't too densely, you know, they're not too dense, so you can see a lot of animals traveling. There's a lot of water and a lot of you know, sparsely populated trees. I've seen people on YouTube hunting this area, and usually I see more activity on their adventures than I do on mine. There's only been probably like once or twice when I've seen an animal run past. One of them, black bear, because that's the only way I spot black bear. Usually I don't catch them by tracking them because bears are like the hardest animals to track by the trails because they move so fast and they travel very far. See, the deers, it seems like they like traveling in circles. You might find like a track from them from like 20 minutes ago, right beside their one that, you know, they just left like 5 minutes ago or a couple minutes ago. But bears, they will travel from one side of the map to another. And also, when you shoot and kill them, they are the hardest to track. Well, not shoot and kill them, but when you shoot them and wound them, they are the hardest to track. They're so hard to track down. I don't know if that's just me, my experience, but yeah. So yeah, usually when I come across bear, it's usually when they're running, they're traveling from one place to another, and I just happen to find one. It was funny because just this past weekend, I uh, I was hunting. Yeah, that's right. I was hunting out there in Loggers Point, and I was up in the big old barn house, and I think I was tracking. What was it, elk? No, I was tracking a doe at first, and then I heard the grunt of a buck somewhere. So I turned in that direction. I was looking for him, and I never saw him, but he was very close. So I got down because he was right beside my building, the barn house, And I got down to the second level because I was on top on the second story, but I got down to try to find him if he was creeping right beside the barn house. And to my surprise, I saw something black run across the door. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? It's probably some type of wild pig. So let me check him out. Because at first I wasn't. I was like, I'm not gonna kill him, but I'm just gonna check him out, see how big he is, just in case if I want to kill him if he's huge. So when I did that, I looked out there and there was a bear, and he stopped. He didn't look at me. He was facing the direction he was running towards. But I was like, oh my god, this is a bear. Let me shoot him. And it was a cinnamon bear. It was a cinnamon brown bear. Well, it's a cinnamon brown black bear. But yeah, that's usually how my encounters with bears are. I remember one time I was in Red Feathers Fall, and there was probably about like 3 black bears traveling with each other. They were also, because I was tracking down a deer that I shot, and I saw the deer running, but on the other side of the river I saw 3 bears, and I was like, okay, I'm going for these bears because the bears were just introduced to the game. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get these bear kills, and I did. I got one of them, and then later on that same map, same hunt, I got a couple more bear. So yeah. So yeah, I'm not that far from the lodge. That's cool. Yeah, I'm not the biggest expert on guns or even hunting for that matter because I don't hunt, and I don't use hunting rifles. I do have a couple guns of my own, pistols, hand guns, but you know I'm not really all into them and stuff. I just really believe in my Second Amendment rights, uh, you know, and the right to protect yourself. But I definitely don't know a thing about hunting rifles. I do have uncles that do go hunting. The closest thing I do to hunting is fishing. I do that. Those are probably like the only outdoor activities I do. You know, out in the wilderness is fish, and I go bike riding on the trails here because here in Ohio we have a lot of bike trails. We have a lot of woods, and a lot of bike trails. And there's this one bike trail that stretches from the southern tip of Ohio all the way up to northern Ohio, all the way up to Lake Erie. So that's pretty cool. The first person to do that was this mother and son. Uh, they did that, I think, last year because last year is when they completed the trail. It's called the Something Ohio Trail. I'm not sure what it's called. But yeah, it's a couple hundred miles. Things like over 500 miles or something like that. I'm not sure because it's not a straight line. Of course, it curves or something like that. I think it's like 400 miles, 300. I'm not sure, but it's a couple hundred miles long, and they did it in 5 days. They didn't do it in 5 days nonstop. They stopped at like hotels and stuff like that. But they were sponsored, so they had people tracking them and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go down here and get my tree. I mean, not my tree stand, but I'm gonna go down here and get my tripod. And if I don't find anything down there, I'm just gonna call it an episode. And if I run into something, I'm gonna get that kill. And yeah, call it an episode. Like I said, these files are huge, man. Uh, 10 gigs for like an hour of just recording, so I don't really like to get them that big. I do have a video software, video edited software that allows me to downsize the files, but that could take an hour just to make the video down to a reasonable size, down to like 1 gig, 1 or 2 gigs. Sometimes I think I see things. Sometimes I be thinking bushes or a boulder, maybe an animal. So sometimes I get confused when I see things. Like if you ever see me look back real fast, like I just did, it's usually because I think I've seen an animal. Even these bugs confuse me sometimes. There's something over there. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know if that's a rock or a fire or something. Like a little campfire over there. Wait, is that where I just came from? I'm not sure. Yeah, but I've never been hunting before in my life. It's kind of sad because Ohio is one of the best states to hunt white-tailed deer. There's a lot of hunting that goes on up here, but I never took part in that. I always did want to go hunting, at least once or twice. It's not something that I want to do on a regular basis, but it's been something I at least wanted to try out, you know. And my uncle, he told me that, you know, hunting isn't what you expect it to be. You know, a lot of people think that you might just walk into the woods and an hour or two later you might run into an animal and get your first kill, but he said that rarely happens. Most of the times it can take up to a couple days of finding an animal. You know, there's a lot to go into it, tracking, you know, just having those standard hunting skills and patience. And that's one thing that I kind of lack. I kind of lack patience. Now, let me pull out my hunter's mate because I'm not sure if I'm walking. Okay, it is. But yeah, man, no wonder. Those those I mean, like the blind, the ground blind, and the tripod, they are kind of hard to see, even for me, because I didn't even know that I was walking in the right direction. I had to pull out my hunter's mate just to make sure that I was walking towards it. And little did I know it was right up here. Okay, well, I made it here and I didn't get any calls, so I think that's gonna be the end of the first episode. Uh, Hopefully, I liked this video and it wasn't too boring or anything. But yeah, next time I don't know. I might go up to Red Feathers because I do like that map. Recently, that has become probably my favorite map because of how many animals are up there. Sometimes it's annoying how much animals you run across up there because you're killing one while you're tracking down one and another one is calling, and it can be very irritating. So yeah, let me take down this tree stand or tripod. Oh, I still don't have enough. Can you believe it? Okay, I think I'm just gonna go back and dump my gun. But yeah, yeah, this is definitely gonna be the end of the episode. So I'll see you guys next time on The Hunter. See ya.